My combat system used to feel fine. It had turns, it had spells, it had swords and lightning and debuffs like poison and bleed, but it didn't sing. And then I added this one feature, stacking multipliers, and now it feels a whole lot more fun. I'm building a turn-based roguelike with JRPG style combat called Runes of the Abyss, and this week I added a mechanic that finally made the combat feel, well, dangerous. And for the first time, I started building around that system. So my game is all about building a party of 4 heroes, choosing spells, exploiting elemental weaknesses, and surviving 3 acts of dungeon, the so-called Abyss. But even with 12 unique classes, a ton of status effects, and elemental interactions, it felt a little flat. You'd cast a burn spell and the enemy would take a bit of fire damage, or you'd freeze someone and maybe slow them down, but there was no sense of scale, no snowballing tension. My systems worked, and they did synergize, but it didn't feel as fun as, let's say, Balatro. If you've never played Balatro, it's a poker roguelike where you have to beat increasingly bigger odds, and to do that, you have to find the right synergy strategy by adding custom jokers to your hands. In this game, there's over 150 jokers that multiply your blue numbers, called chips, or your red numbers, called mults. Every round, you see the numbers go higher and higher, and eventually, when you have the perfect hand, the numbers just pop off with flames, and you get an epic rush of dopamine, which makes the game so addictive. Now, of course, my goal is not to mindfuck you into keep playing my game, but this idea of the numbers popping off is just so enticing, I was inspired by it. So I introduced the new mechanic, stacking multipliers. And here's how it works. Some basic skills have damage multipliers. When you apply a status effect like burn, bleed, shock, or freeze, you can also raise your multiplier for that enemy. Then you can use another skill to double that multiplier, and equip a special item called the rune to double that multiplier, so when you land the final strike, boom, massive payoff. I also designed a multiplier UI that shows increasingly epic words in real time, hovering above the enemy. They also change color and get bigger according to how much damage you do. It's not just satisfying, it makes planning visible. And this isn't just an indie trick. Even AAA games do it. Call of Duty, for example, throws up hit markers, damage numbers, score multipliers, all of it, every time you get a kill or trigger a bonus. Why? Because watching numbers go up is crack for the brain. It's immediate feedback. It rewards planning. And in Runes of the Abyss, it makes every fight feel like a high-stakes puzzle with a jackpot at the end. Adding that mechanic didn't just add flavor, it unlocked synergy. See, my game already had elemental synergy like wind enhancing shock damage or fire spells adding burn debuffs, and it had team synergy too, like let's say doubling a unit's MP with the wizard and then setting your physical attack to equal MP with the paladin, and just like that you have double damage. But now we've got stacking synergy on top of that, and that was the key. The impact was immediate. When I was testing my game, I started thinking differently. I wasn't just casting my strongest spell now, I was looking to set up combos. Suddenly, weaker heroes with fast debuffs became the MVPs for stacking multipliers. It added better strategy to my game, it added better pacing too. And it added the most important thing a turn-based game needs: a payoff. And so now I need your help. Runes of the Abyss is still deep in development, but if you love turn-based game with synergy, I'd love to have you on board. My Steam page just went live, and I'll be putting a link in the description below for you guys to wishlist it if you vibe with that kind of thing. And you can join the new Discord community. And that way, when I need playtesters in the next couple of weeks, you can be first in line. So come hang out, try the new systems, and help me break my own game, please. Adding stacking multipliers didn't just fix my combat, it opened up the final phase of the design. Now I'm building new runes, refining animations, and rebalancing enemies around the idea of damage tempo. Slow build up, big explosion. If you're into game design or making your own project, let this be a reminder. Sometimes it's not about adding more content, it's about adding the right constraint. As always, if you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.